Most people have an opinion about school until they have to answer one real question. That is, if school prepared you for real life, then why did so many people leave the school not knowing how the money works, how emotions work, how taxes work, how relationship work, or how to survive without someone telling them what to do? And honestly, before you answer too fast, think about your own life for a second. Think about the first time you had to make a serious decision alone, and think about the first bill that confused you, or think about the first time you felt anxious, lost, broke, manipulated, rejected, or even burned out, and realized that nobody had ever taught you like what to do with that feeling. Because maybe school did teach you something, maybe it just didn't teach you the things like that could have actually protected you in real life. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about why schools don't teach real life. Let's try to understand like how this whole thing works also from psychology perspective. Maybe it starts with something small. You sit in a class for years learning formulas, dates, definitions, and chapters like that you forget right after the exam. And in school, you raise your hand before speaking, you ask permission to go to bathroom, and you get rewarded for like memorizing the answer and not questioning the problem. And then one day, school ends. And suddenly, life asks different questions like how do you manage money when your income is unstable? And how do you choose a career when everyone is selling you a dream? And how do you handle stress when your mind is like tired? And how do you leave toxic people when loneliness scares you, right? And also, how do you read contract, negotiate salary, build confidence, or deal with failure like without feeling like your whole identity collapsed? And here the scary part is nobody gives you a timetable anymore. And nobody marks your life out of like 100. Nobody tells you like which chapter the pain is coming from. So you realize the system trained you for tests, but life came without syllabus. And here is the hidden psychology that nobody talks about. Schools don't only teach subjects, they teach behavior. Like sit down, stay quiet, follow instructions, and don't question too much, wait for authority, fear mistakes, and compete with people beside you, compete with your friends, and measure your worth with grades or marks. And think like if you do that for 10, 12 years, you don't just leave with information. You leave the school with conditioning, right? Because a system built around obedience will always struggle to teach freedom. Real life needs judgment, courage, emotional intelligence, financial awareness, communication, self-trust, and ability to think like when there is no clear answer. But those things are dangerous to teach deeply because people who understand real life are harder to control, right? They ask better questions, they notice unfair systems, they don't panic as easily, and they don't obey just because like someone has a title or something. And they don't confuse success with permission, right? And honestly, socially, this is the uncomfortable truth I want to talk about. Society says it wants independent thinkers, but many systems are run better with dependent workers. Because people who are confused need instructions. People who are financially weak accept bad options. And people who don't understand emotions are like easier to shame, sell to, and manipulate, right? And people who never learn real life become adults like who feel behind even though like when they did everything right. That is why this hits so hard. School taught you like how to solve equations but not how to solve yourself. It taught you history but not like how to stop repeating your own patterns. And it taught you discipline but often confused discipline with obedience. And it taught you to prepare for exams but not for betrayal or real life or burnout, grief, pressure or freedom. So the final diagnosis is this. Schools don't teach real life because real life creates people who question the script. And most systems don't need fully awake people because they need functional people. People who can arrive on time, who can follow the rules, who chase approval, who fear failure and accept the world as it is. So maybe the biggest lesson is not that school failed you to teach you everything. Maybe the biggest lesson is realizing that your real education begins the moment you stop waiting for the system to explain your life to you.